And we're live. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast, I asked Jay what is his most treasured thing he bought on Black Friday. Not this year, not just this year, but any year. What is his favorite Black Friday purchase ever? All that and a Balenciaga. What is we doing? All that and more on today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Pew, 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 pew. What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 236 of the hashtag Blackout podcast. I am Jared.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Jay.
And we are back and at it again. Jay, my cousin, how was your week?
I don't know what this accent is. It sounds like a very much a Transylvania mixed with a little Italian or Spanish from overseas European. Maybe a little bit of Middle Eastern. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Anyway, how was my week? My week was cool, man. It was good. Not bad. It was Thanksgiving week. Got off like 4 days. Yeah, so I was off for 4 days. The fourth day wasn't supposed to be off. I was supposed to be in work, but my boss like logged in and was like, "Hey, you on? So if there's not much work, go ahead and log off. You could be gone for the day." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, thanks. See you Monday." So yeah, that kind of like broke me because I could have been with my family in Louisiana. Enjoying their company, because I heard there was like 20 some odd people over there.
Oh man, did you see the pictures?
I did. I saw one picture. That was it. I didn't see anything else. Just the one big family picture, but it was cool, man. I miss those gatherings from when we were little, So
yeah, same. Yeah, I definitely miss that. Definitely missed that as well. Yeah, man. My week, I thankfully, didn't have to work the day after Thanksgiving. And the wild thing was on Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, we have like team meetings or huddles, whatever you want to call it, like every morning. And that morning at like 9 something, my boss like came into the meeting, was telling everybody, "Hey, it's the last day before Thanksgiving. Y'all work as much as you really need to. But if you ain't got no meetings, y'all go enjoy the rest of your day." So I was like, phew. I had 2 more meetings after that were fairly early. After that, I was like, I'm done. So that was fine because it gave me time to prep, sort of stuff for Thanksgiving. And we were out of town, during that time frame. So it was just good to be out of town and enjoy just being gone for a couple of days and not being at the house, I guess. And yeah, food went well. I tried to make my mom cornbread dressing, which did not turn out well.
Oh man.
Like it tasted fine. Just the texture was not the texture that I remember. I think I made it too moist. So I'm gonna work on that for next time. It was like too moist, and when I baked it, either I didn't bake it long enough. I think I put too much water in it, or too much liquid in it before I baked it, because it came out like flat, like it didn't have the oomph that I'd missed so much. But so that made me sad. I couldn't replicate that. But my daughter and I, for the first time, made a sopapilla cheesecake, and let me tell you, that was
pretty good,
absolutely delicious. That will definitely be on the rotation from now.
Okay. So, as I asked last week, since you were with family, lots of family, I'm assuming. It was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it wasn't. It was like 8 of us total. There's not a lot of family.
Whose dish did you turn face down in the trash?
I could, as soon as you started saying that, I knew what was about to happen.
Yes,
I already knew.
And let's assume they do not listen to this podcast.
They don't. Okay. Sadly, my dish, my cornbread dressing, was I only ate it out of out of what do you call it? Out of like obligation for, but because I'm the one who made it.
Mm-hmm.
But after I had a couple, after like I you know I don't know, I ate some, and then after I had a couple bites, I was like, this ain't it. But I'm just gonna finish it in front of everybody. But then I got another scoop on my plate. The second time around, I just threw it away.
He's like, nah,
Nah,
B.
it wasn't it. Everything else was fine. Everything else was basic, you know. So like nothing else was something that you know would like definitely say I'm never going to eat that again. Uh, there was a pumpkin pie that was purchased and it was never consumed. No one touched it.
Interesting.
So there's that. And oddly enough, I saw a sweet potato pie. This is in southern Utah. I saw a sweet potato pie, which is one of the things I miss. Which
Was
is a
it
question I'm gonna
touched?
ask you in a second. But we did not buy it. I didn't buy it because I was going for something else. I saw it. It was like a store made sweet potato
It's
pie.
the
So I was
Patty
like,
LaBelle version?
it was not Patty. Was the Patty LaBelle version bad? I
No,
can't
Patty
remember.
LaBelle versions is pretty. It's pretty good. I mean, it's
No,
sweet. It's super
this
sweet,
was
but it's
this
good.
was this was just sort of like the Albertsons version.
Gotcha.
So I was not. Nobody bought that. I saw it at the store and I didn't buy it because I was going for something else. But I probably should have bought it. But no, man, it was fine. But this leads me to a question that I have that I've wondered. You know, that I wonder sometimes, and definitely about you and I, since we don't live near our childhood homes.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't live near enough to family that we get to go to all these big fun events with the families and holidays. So, what what food or treat do you miss the most from back home in childhood? This could be for holidays. This could be just regular stuff that that you would have just gone to the corner store or the
Oh yeah,
grocery store to get
easy,
anytime, something like that.
easy peasy.
Mhm.
Louisiana rice dressing or
Mm.
dirty rice. However, anybody outside of
Dang.
Central. That's the one thing that I have tried to replicate, and I'm close, but not there
Yeah.
yet. I'm close, but not there yet. You know,
Yeah, that
that's it.
is that's a good one, man. That's a good one. That's always on the docket.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, they sold it. You go to, I don't know,
Mhm,
there's little Mama's Fried Chicken back home. There's two
mhm,
locations, just two locations, just a local place,
mhm.
and they sell it there, and it's so freaking good, man. So
Yeah.
freaking good. You go to a little burger stand, ask for rice dressing, they got it over at a burger stand. So,
Dang.
it's like a
See.
staple. It's a staple of like southern Louisiana. I guess the Acadiana region of Louisiana. So
Mhm.
that's what I miss the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get that. I can understand that. Yeah, rice dressing, gumbo, boudin. I mean, you name the Louisiana cuisine, delicacy, and I definitely feel you on that one. Um, so mine, while
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot, I could choose from a whole lot, but one of the main ones is Bluebell ice cream.
Ah, that's right.
Bluebell ice cream. And let me tell you something. So I'm down. We're down and having a Thanksgiving away from home in St. George, Utah. St. George, Utah is the bottom, the southwest corner, the southern westmost corner of Utah. Literally that corner down at the bottom when you look at the map.
Mm-hmm.
And it is fairly close to Arizona and Nevada's border. Once you get out of St. George, maybe like 5 miles, not even 5 miles, I think you cross over into Arizona for a hot minute. And then after being in Arizona, maybe for like 20 minutes, something like that, then you go into Nevada. So, all this being said, so I'm in St. George visiting some people at a store. That carries hooks, rubs, and spices. And the owner of the store is like, "Hey, uh, I have something here that I have something here that I think you'll appreciate, a lot more than the guys who work here." I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "You remember Bluebell ice cream?" I was like, what? Like, that's probably like one of the last things that I expected him to say. I wouldn't even expected it because you never see that outside of Texas at all. And so he was like, yeah, I got some. It was like him having like some crack. You know what I'm trying to say? He's like,
You
want some of this
turned into
crack?
Scooby Doo.
And I was like, you're exactly pretty much. So I was like, okay, how? He's like, what's your favorite flavor? I was like, oh, why
All of
you ask me
them.
such a hard question? I was like, cookies and cream, but I'll take what you got. I'll take what is available. And he's like, hold on a second. So he comes back and he brings out this blue carton, half gallon carton of cookie two-step. He's like, I didn't get any cookies and cream, but I got this cookie two-step. It's half cookies and cream, half chocolate chip cookie dough mixed together. And I was like, are you kidding me? Two of the best ever. So I was like, how, and he's like, here, let me give you a scoop. So dude like pulls out a bowl, or he pulls out a plate because that's all they had. And he like puts a few scoops on there. Man, I was in heaven. He's like, let me get you a fork real quick or a spoon real quick. So I was going
to just get a sample.
And then I was like, so then I was like, how did you get it? And he said that in Mesquite, which is in Nevada, which is about, I go there because there's a heavily discounted liquor store, there, and it's only about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on how fast you drive, away from St. George. So whenever we go down there, every now and then I'll go there just to pick up some stuff if we're low, because it's crazy expensive in Utah, and there's stuff that you can get there that you can't get in Utah. Anyway, he's like, yeah, there's a store there that sells it. He's like, yeah, I'd seen an ad here locally it was in one of the stores, and I was like, no way. So I called the store, and the lady, he checked with a lady and said, we don't have it here, but our next nearest store has one. So he's like, bet, I'm gonna go down there. So yeah, he drove down and got it, brought some back for Thanksgiving for his family. So I was like, I'm going there before we leave. So I went down there, Jay, and let me tell you something. I almost just wanted to stay inside their ice cream cabinet at that grocery store. I was in heaven. My eyes like popped out as soon as I saw. I was like, this can't be real. I think I sent you a polo about it. And and yeah, man, they had all these flavors of half gallon Bluebell and tons of flavors of the pints. So I brought back like 4 different flavors. And I the sad part is I only had I had a small cooler. If I had brought a big cooler with me, then man, I would have brought so much more home. But yeah, it was greatness. So I got the only thing left though after Thanksgiving. Only thing left is a half gallon of cookies and cream. And it was a pint of chocolate chip cookie dough, but my daughter already polished that off. So
that's funny.
Yeah, man, I was so excited to see that. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it.
You telling me that story, it just felt like the greatest skit that could probably be produced. Them like trafficking Bluebell ice cream across the border to Utah, and it's like a drug. People are like fiending for it, and got you turning into Tyrone Biggums out there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That's the way it is. That's the way it would be. That's the way it would be out here. Because the crazy thing is there's so many Texas transplants that live here, and just because, and there's also a ton of people who were born in Utah or whatever, and they did a Mormon mission in Texas. You always know somebody did like a Mormon mission somewhere if they say, oh, I lived there for a couple of years. And then they also follow that up with, oh, I worked for a company installing security systems or solar systems or something like that. Like those are the companies that employ some of those people as well for a couple of years. But anyway, yeah, there's a ton of Texas transplants who live here or people who have lived in Texas before, and a lot of them, lament that there's no Bluebell ice cream here, which I do too. I mean, there's some good ice cream, but ain't nothing like that. So that is a childhood treat that I definitely miss. And oh my goodness, I was so happy to find it. And honestly, I mean, that's about 5.5 hour, or no, wait. That's about almost 5 hour drive away. About 4 hours and 45 minutes away from where I live. And man, even though I was staying down there like close by, so it wasn't that bad. But that's definitely something worth driving for, even if to like get some or go down, stay for the night, then pick some up and come back. It's worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
That's funny.
But the good thing is also that it's that far away, and I can't just go across town to pick it up. So,
hey man,
that's the good thing.
Maybe Santa will bring you some for Christmas.
Maybe so. Santa be shipping Bluebell for way too expensive though.
That's funny.
So anyway, yeah, that was a question of the week, and yeah, we just want to know what you people out there in the world, miss from your childhood. What food, what drink, what treat do you miss the most? We'd love to hear it. Jay, tell the people how they could let us know what they miss.
All right, people, let us know what you miss from your childhood by calling us 3853-BLAKPC or 3853-252572. Or if you don't like talking, you're a little bit gun shy, hit us up, #blackoutpod@gmail.com. We'll read your eloquent wording on the show and let the people know who it's from.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Cool. Yeah, please do. Please do. And speaking of voicemail, sorry. We got one voicemail this week, so let's go ahead and crank it up and listen to it. 3, 2, 1.
Yo.
Hold on a second.
Oh, wait, it's Memphis Steve.
That sound like when they're saying, was that movie like Warriors come out?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Man. All right. So here goes Memphis Diva 99. Let's see. Let's continue this. Wait, let's start it over again. Let's give her her full due on this.
#Blackout Podcast. Yo. Oh, wait, it's Memphis Diva, and I'm at home working today, the day before Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, no. Yeah, tomorrow, that's weird. Okay, Thanksgiving on Thursday. Okay, but anyway, we having our Thanksgiving Friday. But anyway, so what y'all been doing? So have y'all seen in different cities that people are getting together and they are breaking into stores, and it's like 20 of them. There's always a bunch of them, and they just ransack and steal everything out at one time. So I truly believe that it's got to be like a group they're in on social media, because they did it here in Memphis at 8:30 p.m. at a Walmart. And there were specific stuff they took. So to me, it's somebody that tastes the joint or works there. Then they did it in another city, and the police was waiting on them, so they didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm just curious to see how Black Friday will be. I don't like the word Black Friday, so, But anyways, I'll call y'all back, because I got a good question for y'all, but I got to make sure I get my little question together, because I was like, I ain't gonna tell you yet. Okay, so I'm gonna call you back. And what else I gotta tell y'all? That's the most stuff. I'm still I'm chilling. Or I'm working, but I'm not working today. But anyways, we talk about that later. Bye.
Okay, that was the end of the message, and she did not call back. So that question will go, unanswered for now. But yeah, have you heard about that? People ganging up or grouping up to go like sort of bum rush a store?
I've seen video, but I didn't hear about, people getting together on maybe multiple occasions doing it. But I did see video not too long of like a bunch of youngsters just jumping in and just going through the store and grabbing a bunch of stuff.
That's wild, man.
Jay,
that's wild. Dang, that's wild. Yeah, man. I've seen the same thing. It's just wild, man. Like, come on. I don't. Some things that people do, I truly don't understand. Actually, a lot of things people do, I truly don't understand, and that is one of them. It just doesn't make any any sense that they would do that. Like I don't know, whoever it is, need to suffer the consequences. Like, don't do stupid stuff. But yeah. So thank you for that, Kayla. Happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, happy belated Thanksgiving to anybody else that's listening, because this is obviously the episode a couple days after Thanksgiving. And over the Thanksgiving holiday,
Mm-hmm.
there was some. I just sent you this in the private chat, and I'm gonna
Right.
post it up on the StreamYard here so we could actually watch it or look at it. But this is wild. This is absolutely wild. So, the clothing brand Balenciaga, right?
Yep. Same people that dropped Kanye. Yeah.
Yeah. So, clothing brand Balenciaga, as this
Disassociated.
loads,
Yeah.
they're under fire over creepy ads of kids with bondage outfits, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I want to show it, but basically, here, I'm just gonna go to the story, but basically, they had ads with these little girls, like toddlers,
Right.
that were dressed up. I guess the toddlers were dressed up in the Balenciaga clothing, and they had these little these little like stuffed animals, which were Balenciaga toys, and they were dressed in what appears to be bondage gear. Um, in
Okay.
outfits.
Wow.
On top of that, that there was like an ad. Here you go. Another portion of the ad where you can't see it from here, but there's more portions of the ad where you see court documents from a
Mm-hmm.
what is it, from a I guess ongoing legal case,
Right.
where it talks about child sex trafficking. And I think Balenciaga is the defendant or whatever. Like, they're blaming them for part of this. It's something like that, or maybe somebody who's associated with them. I can't remember off top now, because I read it and I was like, what? So yeah, so obviously, child sex trafficking is awful and horrible.
Yes. Yes.
And and it's just one of those things that is absolutely terrible. And here Balenciaga, one of the most well-known names in the world when it comes to fashion and design, has these kids posted up, with their clothing, with this BDSM bear or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, man, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, so now they're getting a lot of backlash. People are asking Kim Kardashian to and other quote unquote fashion icons, you know what I'm trying to say,
Right.
to denounce them, but a lot of them aren't saying anything. And then, of course, now I see a day ago that Balenciaga filed a $25 million lawsuit against the producers of the teddy bear ad campaign. So this was what's crazy. So these ads actually came out, like they were posted. They came out and people saw them. They were published.
Wait,
and now they're mad at the advertising team that actually created the ad, even though they had to. Somebody at Balenciaga had to
sign off,
it.
and approve it. Yeah,
I'm gonna apologize after I got caught. Yeah. What do you think about that, man?
I don't know what I was just about to say. I'm like, doesn't this need to go through like a hierarchy of initials and signatures to get approved to be put out? So it's tough. I understand what they're doing, like they were trying to be edgy and all this other stuff, but they just didn't think it completely through. Putting little kids in being associated with this type of
type of
thing.
Did not think it through.
Oh, did I lose you? Hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm here. I'm still here. I hear you were breaking up a little bit.
All right.
I heard you.
Yeah, sorry. All right. Yeah. So it's just
I got you.
extremely poor taste on their part. And they're just trying to clean up their tracks by saying they're upset. And you say they wanted to sue
Yeah.
the advertising department or something like that.
They said they're suing whatever that advertising company is that created, or marketing company that included a very poorly hidden court document about virtual child porn, which is the one that I'm talking about,
Wow.
which they are actually involved in, against them.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is the thing, man. It's wild because like
No
as
excuses, man.
as an advertiser and marketing person, you have to think about your brand image right now, and you have to think
Yep.
about so many things. There is more than one person at Balenciaga who has to approve this. This isn't just one guy saying, "Yeah, let's go." Like if it was me, my small business, I'm the one who's posting it. That's me. I'm just like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's not me. That's a team of people who see this and they're like, "Yeah, bondage bear, little kids, perfect."
Bondage
What?
bear. That's just.
I mean, come on, man.
That's
and
wild.
then the audacity to put the court documents from a case that they're in. Like what? Excerpt from U.S. Supreme Court opinion on the United States versus Williams, part of child pornography law. So I and apparently Balenciaga left Twitter, just here recently. So maybe this is a part of it. But for me, I'm just saying, man, you have a $1 billion company, whatever it is. How does this fall through the cracks? How does no one notice it? And I mean, this is the thing. If you're not thinking about, like, if you're a normal person like me, I don't think I would notice it right off, like the kid with the little bear with the stuff on. But then I'll be like, that's a weird, like, why would they dress that bear like that? That's what I would think, right?
Yeah.
But then seeing the court and stuff like that, I'd be like, okay, why did they put that in there? We're not going to run this ad. We're going to go and start from the beginning, and y'all going to give me all my money for everything I paid y'all. I don't know, man. They're getting the backlash. We'll see what happens over the course of time. Maybe they'll just, maybe they'll be in trouble. Maybe they won't. But here we go. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Got a comment from Aggressively Relaxing. What a name. What rich fashion people are creepy? What? No. Who would have thought? What? No, who would have thought? Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't read today. Sorry. But yeah, man, thanks for the comment. Yeah, and there's a lot of rich fashion people that are very creepy. Oh, wait, no, you know what? I misread that. What? Rich fashion people are creepy? What? No. Who would have thought? There we go.
That's the correct. So
Sorry.
weird when you read stuff online. It's all right though. We got it.
Sometimes I can't read. So this was one of those days. But yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's just very ridiculous. Very ridiculous that they would even post that up there and put that out there for people to see beyond beyond their first eyes. And whoever that company is, man, you really need to question any of the advertisements that they've done. But more will come out about that over time. I don't know. Sure. Let's see here. So, what did you say? No worries. Sarcasm doesn't travel well through text. Yeah, that's 100% true. 100% true. Good. Thank you for that, Grace. Wow. So, over the last couple weeks, we have both seen a movie that, I guess, the sequel to a movie that became an international transcendent phenomenon, and especially transcended all culture. But mainly, what it did for African American community. Finally seeing a hero like them on screen that looks more like them, that comes from a place that maybe they can identify with a little bit more, was great. And so yeah, we saw this new movie that came out, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This is a mini review. We won't go in depth, but yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago. Jay just saw it over the holiday break. Yeah, Jay, Wakanda forever. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think?
I thought it was great. I thought they started off super strong and they ended strong. So everybody knows who knows about Black Panther. The original one, Chadwick Boseman, was the star, Black Panther, and sadly he lost his life. Through from cancer, and everybody, the world was wondering, how are they going to handle this? Are they going to get another Black Panther? That was the talk of the town. Are we going to recast Black Panther? Are they going to do this? They're going to do that? No, they didn't. What the hell is going on? Okay, sorry about that, people. Got a whole bunch of people in the house that are like slamming doors and doing all kind of other silliness. But yeah, they handled that fine. They handled that perfect. In spoilers, we're gonna get a few spoilers in here. They handled that perfect. They went in. They started it off with the funeral, or the death of T'Challa. In the aftermath following that, the funeral, how the family is handling it, how the town, the city, the country of Wakanda is handling it. And I think they did a beautiful job of that. It left no questionable moments as to why they did that, So, and they did that throughout the whole movie. There was one little thing that I was kind of confused on. It didn't really bother me, so to speak, but it was just like a little and it was with is it Everett Ross? Like, what's his name?
Yeah, the Ross agent
Agent Ross, and I forgot her name. God, it's always on the tip of my tongue. But whoever the woman is that he kept interacting with, I didn't see like a whole bunch of with that little side storyline, even though I know Marvel always like interweaves little storylines that all come together in the final end of whatever phase they're going to be going to. So I didn't really too much care for that part, but for the film as a whole, I loved it. Loved the way they cast Namor. Loved his character. It kind of left you looking the same way that you did at Killmonger in the first one. And it's like, am I siding with this person or am I siding with that person? There were no
good like
bad
anti-hero.
Yeah, so there were no bad guys, so to speak.
Anti-villain, whatever. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it made it really hard. And what's interesting, I think it sort of plays along the lines of a lot of family drama. That's what Killmonger sort of did, it was just like, family drama, whose side are you on, and this time was almost like country drama, whose side are you on? Because you could make a case for both sides, like you sort of said, like, who do you want to root for, or who should you or should you not root for him, feel for them, whatever. And from the aspect, because I think they mentioned this at one point in there, from the aspect of being from a land of being colonized, or whatever I'm trying to say, or having colonizers like come to your land, you have a certain I guess thought and feeling against other nations that come and colonize your land. So Wakanda, knowing and thinking about the colonizers, they don't want colonizers to come in to destroy Wakanda. But then also, this under the water world of Namor, they don't want people from the outside world taking over their under the sea world. Now, with that being said, it was so far under sea that they would have, we'd have to have like the craziest submarines and all that stuff to be able to do anything to it. But that can happen. But yeah, here we go. Aggressively Relaxing. I love the name. Incredible film critiquing nation superpowers using fictional nations is brilliant. Making problems people pretend is complicated. as simple as comic book is, as a comic book is, what the medium is for. Yeah, I believe that. It's cool. It's cool because yeah, we could definitely get, you could definitely get all the thoughts and feelings off of your chest about any country, social situation, civil situation, family situation, whatever it is, all baked into one. You could put it on a movie, and people will understand it, and some people, will understand that it is outside of the realm of what we're just seeing right there on screen. So
Yes.
yeah, so
And some people will take it personally.
it's cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people will take
Yeah,
those fictional things personally, and try to bring it into their real life. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
So I did say spoilers. What did you think about the whole bringing back Killmonger? When Shuri was trying to go to the ancestral planes to, I guess, talk to her mother to see if her mother was
Mm-hmm.
there, she instead
Mm-hmm.
encountered Killmonger. What did you think about that?
First of all, I only thought the Black Panthers would be in the ancestral plane. But I guess it is your ancestors, so it could have been anybody, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I thought it was interesting because they say, when you go back there, you see, I guess you choose who you want to see, like subconsciously, and that person, or whoever, uh, um, matches like your current state of being, thoughts and feelings, and so yeah, man. Excuse me. Going back to see Killmonger, that was wild. I knew they weren't going to bring back Chad. Of course. Even though I had a little tiny bit of like, maybe they would if they did it like all those other Marvel movies where they did and they went back in the past and they did like a younger version of somebody that is older now, and they brought him back with like a bunch of CGI and crap. I was like, maybe they do that. Maybe, but probably not. And then I was looking to see Angela Bassett, if nothing else. But no, bringing back Killmonger was interesting, and you could tell that that's sort of where the movie turned, because we all knew that Shuri wanted to get back at Namor and whatnot for what happened to her country and obviously what happened to her mom. But I don't know. I didn't see the ratcheting up of anger and what's the word, vengeance. I didn't see the ratcheting up of that until that moment when she was there talking to him about it, and she was mad that she saw him.
She didn't want to tell anybody. She didn't want to tell anybody who she saw.
Yeah, she was mad when she saw him, which was fine because she wanted to see like somebody she actually liked. But he was like, you're more like me than you actually think. And yeah, man, and she went back to Rex shop after that. But yeah, she was definitely frustrated and mad, and she's like, it didn't work, and of course we knew it worked. And I thought it was an interesting choice. But I think it also has an overarching is a overarching like comment about somebody's state of being, you're looking for revenge, and that revenge, even though you can go and try to find all the revenge you want, that's never going to make you happy in the end. It's always going to come back at some point in time, if not immediately, eventually. So that's my take. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I thought the same thing. Her state of being, her emotional state of being, reflected what I guess Killmonger was trying to do when he was around. He wanted to get back at the world for what they were doing, and kind of, or not really the world. I feel like he was trying to sort of get back at Wakanda for not being there for him whenever he was younger, not taking him in. That's probably why he burnt down all the sacred herb plants, didn't leave any one of those there. And that was another major part in the movie, them trying to recreate heart-shaped herb. So they did a synthetic one, and eventually they were able to achieve it. But I totally agree with you. So it was definitely surprising to see Killmonger just automatically pop up. And I'm glad they didn't go the Tyler Perry route and get him a bad wig, bad hairdo. So that's a plus. He needs to take notes on that. So what did you think about the whole the Talukan, the whole underwater city? That was like beautiful, man.
Oh my gosh,
that was wonderful.
That was absolutely outstanding. It was absolutely outstanding to look down and see Talukan. It was interesting though the way that they got there, because it reminded me of like the movie The Abyss. It reminded me of like several different like movies where like Namor is just sort of like swimming down there, right? But Shuri is in this like big like like underwater suit and getting pushed along. And so it reminded me of the Abyss. It also reminded me of like Finding Nemo. When they went on that like that, whatever it is, like the waterway where all the turtles would float on and float around the world.
That's exactly what I thought.
It was it was interesting, but going to the city was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I couldn't tell in certain parts, because in certain parts it looked like the city was existing underwater with like open air oxygen, because there was like those times where they were like in the I guess like in the king's throne room or whatever, and
people in that cave, underwater like, cave.
Yeah, it seemed like there was like
oh, okay,
it was just oxygen in there. But I couldn't tell. I may be wrong, but it was cool, man. It was interesting. It was also interesting that all the people living underwater, they had to have those
the
little
they have
the face
mask,
the face mask on. Yeah,
water mask.
But let's see here. Aggressively Relaxed said, I thought it made sense she would see him, which is Killmonger, the little genius who couldn't help calling a CIA agent colonizer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Talukan was cool. I thought it was interesting. It was very interesting looking at Namor's story and how he sort of came to his realization and thought process that what he was doing was right, because he came back onto the land, saw his people, and obviously saw his people in slavery, and it looked like his own people were enslaving his own people. You know what I'm trying to say? Wherever that was in Mexico, in the Yucatan Peninsula, and then he burned that all down and decided to just go ahead and create his little underwater kingdom or whatever, his big underwater kingdom. But I thought that was interesting, and it also sort of, I think it had some parallels to obviously enslaving your own people, which have been talked about over history as well. So yeah, man, that Talukan was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I also thought
there was a lot of cool stuff.
I know a lot of people really don't talk about like the scores in film, but like the music behind the whole everything in Talukan, the music when they were just walking through this, or I ain't gonna say walking, swimming through the city. I thought that was just so lovely to hear, And then of course when they decided to go to battle, and Namor sits on his throne, and then everything just starts getting really tense. The sound, the music just starts.
It did pick up,
getting real dramatic, and it just lent to that feeling that he's probably like the true definition of fuck around and find out.
I mean, really, he was though.
Yeah,
he really was. That was a whole, like the whole thing of him bringing Shuri down there. I almost called her Siri. but him bringing Shuri down there, and that whole thing, it almost felt like a courtship. Like he was trying to it felt like a lot of gentle moments. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
And maybe that was him trying to be persuasive to get her on his side, which obviously it was, but it felt like a little bit of like romantic tension. You know what I'm trying to say? Going on for a bit. And for a while I was like, wasn't Namor with that other girl named Namora? But I don't know. I never knew. I don't know that part. His history.
Yeah.
I don't know his history in comics that well, so I didn't know. But I thought that was weird. But and then we hadn't even talked about Riri Williams.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, I think I accidentally mentioned her name to you before you saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I figured whenever the trailer first came out, and I saw somebody like cutting a heart, and I was like, "What is that?" And I asked, like, so I started talking about it on another Facebook group, and they said, "Oh, that's probably Ironheart. They're probably representing Ironheart." So I already knew Ironheart was Riri Williams, and then of course more trailers came out, so they did confirm it.
Yeah,
I thought she did good. I thought it was great that they introduced her. I won't say I was confused by her, but she played a good role. I'm curious to know. I think she's gonna have a Disney series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's gonna have a Disney series coming out. So I'm wondering if her series could be like the aftermath of what happened here in Wakanda, or if it's like a pre
origin, maybe.
Yeah, maybe like an origin story. I'm assuming it would probably be a mix of both.
Yeah,
but I thought it was cool that they introduced her, and I was going to ask, do you think that Shuri, if it wasn't Riri Williams, if it was like some random company that started doing this technology, developed this technology to go way undercover and underwater and extract the vibranium, do you think Shuri would have joined Namor's side to I guess overtake whatever,
That's a good question. Did they? I don't know. Did they know? Did they get a picture of who she was before? You know what I'm trying to say, or maybe not.
Did
I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out like how they. I mean, they knew. So this is the thing: when Shuri and Okoye went to MIT and saw Riri Williams, they're like, "Oh, there's the scientist." Like, how did they know that was her? That's my thing.
Hey, man, it's Wakanda. They got intel on everybody.
I guess they got intel on everybody, right? So, like, they knew it was a little black girl, pretty much, before they went in there. So maybe that did factor in. If it had been a colonizer-looking type of person, we'll say it like that. Then
say it like that.
Maybe they would have. Maybe she would have sided with Namor. But it would have had to been like her mom to side with Namor at that time, because her mom was the one sort of ruling everything.
That's true.
So I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, man.
Yeah. What do you think about? What do you feel about Angela Bassett's performance, man? I got kind of.
I think she did great.
I think she did wonderful. Like her entrance when she was before the whole panel of I don't know what you want to call it, the United Nations or whatever it was. I thought that was wonderful. But what really got me, she went into mama mode when she started like fussing at Shuri when they were in Wakanda. I was like, damn. Yeah, she went full mama mode on her. I started to get scared and tear up a bit. So
yeah, man. I think Angela Bassett did great, man. This was, I think if they're going to send her out on any performance, this was the one that she had to represent and be the strongest. And, I think the overarching knowledge that, of the way that Chadwick Boseman's life, has ended, so like he is not ever going to come back. I think she brought some of that into a lot of that into her performance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they had tons of references to him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And the wild thing was, it was almost like, I don't know. My wife said that she liked the first Black Panther better, and you know, and I think I appreciated this one with a little different reverence than I did the first one, just because, you know, you have Angela Bassett being like the mom and the matriarch, and everything is just sort of come crashing down. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like over the past several years, you know, like the king died, then T'Challa died, you know, in real life, but you know, in the movie he also died, you know, and then like an unknown out of nowhere cousin, you know, before that, you know, also made claims that he should have had the throne. So all that, and then Shuri is literally the only actual family member that you have left.
And then she goes missing, and that's what I meant to say. Not Angela, the queen fussing at Shuri, but the queen fussing at Okoye for losing Shuri.
Okay, yeah.
That I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I made a mistake. Yeah, she was fired up, man, and she made like such a great speech about, you know, losing the king and then losing her son and then now possibly losing her daughter. That that was like a powerful.
I thought she was too rough on that, but I can understand why she was at the same time.
Yeah, man, I'd be rough too. It's like my whole family.
It was a complete accident. But then again, Okoye was like, you know, put her in my trust. I'll take care of her. Yeah, man. So that was tough, but you know, I don't know. And then, wow, there's so much to unpack. And then going off and seeing, what's the other girl's name? Black Panther's wife girlfriend that moved off to
the wife girlfriend
to Dominican or Trinidad. Nakia, I don't know what the heck she moved. Yeah, Nakia. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come to find out.
Yeah, come to find out, they had relations and created a kid. Spoiler alert.
And he was that same age range, you know, that would have happened after the last Black Panther, man. That is wild. So, you know, it is wild. Because, I mean, at that point, you know, Shuri is like, my whole family's gone. It's just me, you know. And it's the end of the movie. And then they bring the kid out, and she's like, oh, you know, it's like my nephew. You know what I'm trying to say? It was wild. It was wild, man. It was wild. It was wild to see.
And that's that's Chadwick Boseman's said it. That's not his real son, is it? That's his real.
I don't know if that's his real son.
I don't know. Some ways or not, I thought that was, but either way it go, it was still like a surprising kind of like touching moment to see.
Yeah,
you know, they had a kid, and it's great because they, you know, she said they didn't raise him to have all the pressures of being a prince, you know, so that's always a plus. But his real name, as he already knows, is T'Challa, Prince T'Challa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. Let me see here.
No, it's not his real son.
It's not his real son. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if he actually had kids or not.
Did he ever?
But no,
I don't know.
I don't know, but I thought that was wild, that because when Shuri's sitting there on the coast burning her garments, you know, then Nakia pops up and is like, hey, can we join you? And she's like, we who? You know? And this little dude shows up, and you could see all of the thoughts in Shuri's head saying, okay, who is this child? Why is this child with you? Specifically joining me in this moment.
Yeah.
And then as he introduces himself and then she says, like, this is your nephew. She's like, hold on a second. Ho. How did not know about this? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. It's like your mama knew.
Yeah, she's putting it all together, all in the moment. Like that was a very powerful moment. I don't know what they're gonna do with that going forward.
I
I
think
thought it was cool.
It'll be interesting because you would think the next Black Panther movie would probably be another roughly 6 years from now. Let's just say, judging by their timeline of things, he could be primed to be somewhat like Prince T'Challa. He'll go back to thanks for clearing it up, aggressively relaxing. He'll go back to being, I guess, maybe 18 roughly. So it'll be that young age, only if that's what Marvel decides they want to do. And if that kid decides he wants to keep acting, So I was, I was surprised they brought in the new suits for some of the Dora Milaje, the Midnight, what was it called?
Midnight. I don't know. When I heard the name, I was like, that doesn't sound good.
No, because the little run that Ta-Nehisi Coates did a few years ago introduced those characters.
Midnight Angels.
Midnight Angels. They introduced those suits. Which I thought was pretty cool because I immediately recognized it. I was like, oh shit, they brought that in here. So I thought that was pretty cool. They did that, kind of tied those in.
Yeah, I thought the suits were interesting, but I thought the name was silly. I thought the suits were sort of cool, but I thought the name was silly. I was like, Midnight, like the way that she said it in the movie when she's like, what is that called? We call it the Midnight Angel. And I was like, the way she said it tripped me out. I was like, huh, why? But I knew that, it had ties to comics. So that was already established, in time. But I don't know, man. I thought that was cool. There was so much. The one thing that was wild to me, though, was this. So, yes, they went to, and this is going back a bit. So they went to attack, Namor and his people out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean.
In the ocean, yeah.
Okay, so in case y'all don't know out there, Black people and swimming is not always synonymous. It's just not. This is just the thing. I'm gonna put it out there because this is the truth. A lot of Black people know how to swim and love swimming. Like it is what it is. But like Black people and swimming in the water is not a thing that goes well together, especially given the history of people jumping overboard or being thrown overboard on the slave ships so many, years ago. So, but the fact that they go out on this boat that I swear has to be about 10 to 20 stories tall, and it's like small, like it's like, it's a warship. It's small. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. So that like, you would think if they went out there, that they would have like this massive ship, you know what I'm trying to say? That looks like a warship.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was supposed to be like a floating,
because it looked like it can easily just tip over.
I know. I was like, man, if the wind turned wrong, man, if a wave come up, that thing falling right over. So my thing was like, why are they gonna send them out there on this thing? The only platform they have to battle on is the smallest part of the ship at the top. Yeah. And I mean, it was cool because they had like a plan and they were like knocking them off the side and they had like this music playing and stuff like that underwater that was messing up their hearing and stuff like that. And they had one speaker doing it too. Like, since when you ever seen a bunch of Black people at a party with one speaker? That don't happen too often. They got 110 in the back of their car. That's pretty much what it was.
That's funny. They
just had 110. So 110 is 10 is so. So I was like, what the heck is this? Like, it's just not, it didn't line up. But maybe that's because they're African Black people and they're not American Black people. I don't know. But going up there to fight, and then we ain't even talk about M'Baku getting his chest plate shattered.
Yeah, I thought he was dead. My wife was like, "Is he dead?"
I thought Namor punched right through his body.
I thought he did too.
But you could see that he was sort of you can see that when they got to that battle again, or you can see right after that he was like, "Dang, ain't never happened to me before." But yeah, when they got to that battle in the middle of the ocean on that little tiny like floating whatever the heck it's called teardrop, I was like, "Man, come on, man, what is we doing?"
Yeah, man, I was laughing somewhat at them explosive water balloons.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how you gonna get beat by a bunch of water balloons?
It's like, would this be fun in the summertime, or would this really hurt? In
Texas summer, it may feel good.
It may feel good in Texas summer, getting hit with a water grenade. So
yeah,
it was cool, man. I loved it. I loved the movie.
It was a great movie. I just thought that was a bad choice for a vessel to go out and fight a nation of water dwellers on like the smallest possible, option that was out there. It was wild, but also that probably has ties back in the comics and the history of comics. So, it was probably already established. I was just like, not so much. Yeah, but it was good, and the fact that all that one girl had to do, Namora, all she had to do was go underwater with her spear and break the dang speaker. That's it. That's all she did.
No more music.
And then everybody was like,
no more party.
We can fight now. I was like, man, come on, man. And then she packed a whole bunch of the water balloons up in there. So
that's funny.
It was wild, man. But no, it was a great. I really thoroughly enjoyed the movie overall. Yeah. The sad part is when we were getting to the theater, we got there and sat down, and my son and I went to get some snacks, for all of us, and I was like, oh, we got time. We got like 10 minutes, and then there's probably gonna be like 10 minutes of previews plus something like that. Mm-hmm. And we waited in line, and then I looked at my watch. I was like, dang, it starts right now. We're just barely getting our order, but I was like, you know what? There's previews. We'll be fine. We got back in there, a few minutes after it started, and they were like well deep into the, the funeral situation they had for Black Panther. So I missed that first part, the first few minutes, which I wish I had seen great. Because, by the time I saw it, it was like literally the end of the funeral celebration. So so I'll watch it again whenever it comes on Disney soon.
Yeah, I'm trying right now to look for that, and I know I mentioned it to you right before we got on that there was a news anchor in Mexico talking about the casting of Namor, saying that there were, there's a lot of, and then my words are probably going to get slightly skewed. A lot more. There are more actors in Mexico that aren't as dark, or that should have been casted in these roles, and especially in this Marvel role, that are a lot brighter in skin tone. So that sparked a conversation on colorism in I guess films, especially amongst the Latino community. And I just wanted to get your take on that, because we talked a little bit about it. Just a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to share this article.
They had...
Uh-oh. You froze. Or did I freeze?
Me?
Hello? Yeah, you.
I never freeze.
Ah, nice.
I'm still here.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you was just stuck there. Like,
there we go. All right.
So, yeah. So I guess some white Latinos are a little mad at the casting of Tenoch Huerta. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But they have some words they were saying, and I think it definitely sparked a big conversation online amongst the Latin community. Do I have to say Latin or Latinx? About
Latinx,
colorism.
It's Latinx, I think.
Latinx. I always hear that next, man. Don't get us canceled.
I don't know. We just out here trying to figure it out, bro.
We
don't know. We don't know what
Khan.
Cuckoo Khan. We don't know.
Yeah, we are Cuckoo Khan. Yeah. So, yeah, man, what do you think about colorism amongst in this film, or just in general, man? Just in films in general.
In general, I think it's sort of wild. I don't always understand it. But then I do understand it because black people, speaking from our perspective, dark black people, it's always like a dark skin versus light skin. You know what I'm trying to say? I remember one time, my dad was like, I swear he's like a couple shades darker than me overall. I remember one time saying something about that to him. I was like, oh, you're blacker than me, or you're darker than me. And my dad got so mad. And offended. He was so pissed off at me.
Who said that?
I was like, what did I say? My dad. I said that to him.
Oh, you said that to him. Yeah.
But I wouldn't think I was making a very what do you call it? A very what do you call it? Like I wasn't being like, what do you shoot. Oh man, I sort of lost my words this morning.
Sorry.
What's the word when you're not doing it to offend anybody?
Intentional.
You're not doing it on purpose.
You're not.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. No, but it was very innocent comment.
Oh, gotcha.
To him, just like saying something, and he was like so mad at me. So there's always been this thing of light skin versus dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess maybe I should have thought differently. My dad is from like Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
He grew up in he grew up in the civil rights era, Mississippi. The worst time and place probably to be in Mississippi outside of slavery. I think it's wild that people call for a darker skinned or a lighter skinned whoever to portray whatever character, unless there's something in the history of unless there's something in the history that specifically states where he is from and also what he looks like. I think we talked about this before. Unless there's something that specifically states the color of their skin or something like that, then someone from that area who plays that character should be upheld and accepted. Now he is part of let's see here, he is part of Mayan and Aztec culture. Is that what that
Correct.
says?
That's correct.
So the weird thing is Mayan and Aztec are different, right? But they all but it's all sort of sort of like from central Mexico, I believe. But they all sort of live out on the Yucatan Peninsula, in which from my one trip going down to Cancun, which was not the Yucatan, is just barely like the state right over. It's not too far though. A lot of the same people live in those areas. And going down to Tulum, which was like old what do you call it, like old Mexican or whatever, like ruins and stuff like that. Seeing the people there, they are like that medium. They're like the medium skin tone. So I think Namor was the right color. You know what I'm trying to say personally, but I'm not Mexican. So at the end of the day, what I say doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Colorism is silly though.
It's silly, and it happens amongst all people of all cultures with people of color. It's sad because I remember looking at like Telemundo or Univision. All you really had was like the lighter skinned Latin anchors, news anchors, and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I hear from time to time, coming across different things on online with a lot darker skinned people of the community, like they're never really represented. So I thought this was a great way. This film was a good way to kind of usher in uh, or bring in a person of that looks like him, to not be left out in that, especially in these films, in these Marvel films, or
Yeah.
big films like this that's mixed crap tons of money. There are actors and actresses out there that
Yeah.
could that could represent. And even looking at something like this, I know some people probably listening, but we're looking at actual live website on the YouTube, and they're showing depictions of paintings and stuff of Mayan people. They weren't like light in, like when you look
they
at
weren't.
no, we're getting into like crazy territory here. I'm not even gonna bring it up. I was just gonna make comparisons to this versus like Egyptian hieroglyphics and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do it. Getting too much in the weeds. But yeah, it's pretty interesting how people kind of put emphasis on the color of a skin tone to say who's more talented and who's less talented. So
yeah, that's definitely. I mean, if he's from the culture and he's playing the character, I think you can accept it however it is. Suspend your disbelief, all this stuff. The only place where that comes into play, where I believe it should not be, is like if they had an Asian person playing the Black Panther from Africa, or if they had a black person playing Shang.
Oh dang, man! You really about to get us like in the weeds.
You're about to get banned. But,
Shang-Chi.
But no, yes, there you go. I was thinking Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat or something. But no, like to be honest,
wow,
that's when you know what? No, that is not correct, because that literally has the origin of being an African person from Africa and black, and it's like in the comics and like everything else lines up with that. But you have an Asian dude playing him? What, bro? So yeah, but that is different from colorism, I believe. I think they did good. I think it's wild that they're doing that. I think it is uncalled for. But
it is.
Somebody gonna find a reason to be mad at something for some reason, for no reason.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess if anybody out there wants to read more on this particular colorism within Latin communities associated with Black Panther, Vox.com has a good article, very long article, detailing what's going on. We're not going to get into it because it's super long, but yeah, check it out. So you had another question you wanted to ask me before we started, something about Black Friday.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes. What was your favorite? Yeah, we'll get off of that. Y'all go see Black Panther. Wakanda.
Don't go see Black Adam. Or if you want to, just saying. I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
And apparently, don't waste your money on Black Adam. But speaking of blackness, yes. What? And I guess I should have. Transitioned to this much earlier after
we're all over the place.
For Black Friday, right? We just had Black Friday a couple of days. What was your favorite or most cherished or best thing, whatever it is, that you've ever purchased on a Black Friday? Do you remember?
The most memorable was 1995. The
oh dang, very specific.
The Jordan 11, the OG Jordan 11s with the patent leather, and the gum bottoms came out. And I can remember my good friend and I. We both went to the mall. My mom took us to the mall, and we both purchased that pair of shoes. And like that was the first pair I bought with my own money. So I think I was working. Yeah, I was working at Winn-Dixie at the time. 15. Yeah, I was 15. Working at Winn-Dixie at the time. And that was the first pair I bought with my own money. So, second pair ever, first pair I bought with my own money. So that was like a very memorable purchase. It was only for me, nobody else, just me. What about you?
Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Wow, there's been so many things that I've purchased on Black Friday. Some of which I used for a long time, some of which used for a very short amount of time. Actually, honestly, I think this right. There's a TV right here next to me. It's a 40-inch TV, right? And it has some memories attached to it. So we were visiting Utah from Texas on a Black Friday and on a Thanksgiving, and we're here for Black Friday. So I was like, I'm gonna go up to Walmart that night, see what they got for Black Friday. I want to check out this TV deal, and they had a TV for crazy prices of Vizio, crazy good priced. And it was like 40, 42 inches. I can't remember how big it is, but yeah, they were like, you know what, this is the deal, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, cool. So I remember going up to that Walmart and I was, how the heck am I going to get it home? And I remember my mother-in-law was like, we'll get it coordinated to get it shipped to you. I was like, dope. So I remember going up to pick it up and getting in line for it. And while being in line, remember seeing some people fight over a Call of Duty video game that also went on Black Friday sale. And this was like the nighttime, like when Walmart would open up at midnight, this was still then. So it was wild. I was just sitting there and they got like an out and out fight and the cops were called. I was like, man, I'm just here for a TV, man. I ain't trying to get up.
And what were they were, you didn't see what they were fighting over? Oh,
they were fighting over Call of Duty video game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, old school Call of Duty video game. It was like Modern Warfare 2 or something. Like it was a long time ago.
I'm assuming that was like the first day it came out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And it was also like this, like it was like $15, like something stupid, like $20, when normally it was like $50 or $60. So I was like, why are y'all fighting over that? But suffice to say, I bought the TV, brought it home, and then they're like, we'll get it shipped for you. So they got it set up and shipped to me. When we got it back, when we got it in Texas, the whole screen was like a big like couple cracks across it, and it wouldn't come on. I was like, dang. I just had him ship this thing to me. The screen is busted, no picture, all this stuff. I was like, what am I gonna do? So I was like, you know what? We just bought this a few days ago. It's still like within the return window, or I'm gonna bring it back up to Walmart and say I opened it up and it got cracked. So brought it to Walmart, told them, hey, this was cracked. It was a Black Friday deal. They're like, well, let's see if we have any of those TVs left, because they normally only carried X amount, right? And they said that they had found one at one of their other locations, and they like had it transferred over, something like that. And I went in and got my brand new TV, and they took the broken one. Yes. So, and it still works. It's been at least 12 years, at least.
That's cool.
And it still works. It still works just as good as it did the first day we got it. So yeah, man. I think that was it, just because it had all that stuff tied to it. I mean, there's been other good stuff. There was one thing that we bought one time that was those, you probably remember, we had them in our car. There were the screens that you could put behind the headrests on the seats, and you could watch a movie when going on a long trip. I do remember going to a Walmart to buy those, and there was like several people standing around this pallet of these that was wrapped up for hours. And I remember an old lady literally like when they finally were open so we could grab one. I remember an old lady elbowing me like trying to box me out just to get these like headrest screens, DVD player. And I was like, dang, old lady. And yeah, that was good. We used that for a long time on road trips. It was fun. Definitely kept the kids occupied, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, entertained.
So
yeah.
What do y'all do now? Like for long trips, you still have any entertainment for them, or they have like their?
I mean, they just have like their little phone devices. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Now that you mention that, man, I'm like looking on Amazon. I'm like, do they have like portable TVs now? And I'm looking at this portable monitor that could connect to your phone, and they could watch whatever they want to watch. So that's cool. Good to know. Because mine is all trash. I remember you have to get a CD player, a DVD player, and then all this other cords and stuff got to attach, and you just got cords everywhere. So
yeah,
that's cool. Did you and the family do any Black Friday online or outside shopping this year?
This time? No.
Yeah, no, nothing.
No, I didn't. That was because that Black Friday, that was the day where I went to that was the day when I went down to pick up that vanilla ice, that not the vanilla, but the Bluebell that I talked about. But actually, my mother-in-law got a new phone. She switched up to T-Mobile. She wanted me to go up there to the store to help her like through the process because she's one of those people who like she gets something, she learns how to use it, and she doesn't like to change, at all.
That sounds like my mom.
She was very trepidatious about changing for a long time because she liked the iPhone with the little button on it. And I was like, at some point in time, they're going to stop doing updates for your phone and your phone's just going to be beyond obsolete. Like it'll be glitchy. So after a long time of telling her, and I think she's about to move, and at her new house that she's going to, she could tell that her old AT&T service, she would never get bars. She'd never get any service there. So she's like, I need better service. And since that's nearby where we live, we have service when we go there. So she's like, I think I just need to switch up to T-Mobile. So yeah. She did. Yeah. And she had a really good deal on a new iPhone. But other than that, we didn't do any Black Friday. I want to go on Amazon and see what they got. But yeah.
Man, I know you're talking about cell phones. My dad still has a flip phone,
Yeah.
He still got the flip phone. I gave him my old Galaxy S something or another. And I think he tried and he was like, no, I don't like this. Let's go back to the flip phone.
Went to a flip phone. They have those new flip all screen, the new flip phones that are all screen.
They got the flip touch screen. My wife wants to get one of those, but I'm like, I mean, it's up to you. I don't know how they work. I don't know if the screen would wear down the more you open, close. Yeah. I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
But if she wants to go ahead and get it, I'm cool. But Black Friday, I didn't do any shopping Black Friday before, like the week before. A lot of stores are already doing their pre-Black Friday sales. So Black Friday is seems like it's like throughout the whole month of November. Seems like it's just for people to buy junk. But I bought a 50-inch TV. Yeah, so I bought a 50-inch LG, for our living room.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was cheap, like $200 some. So may as well get it. But it's like a 4K TV, and we got it above the fireplace, and I had to buy a mount that could like come down and go and rotate up, so you could lower it down to be at a good eye level, or you could put it above the fireplace, where it is. So we had a fun time trying to mount that in brick.
Man,
but
mounting sucks.
It did because we ran out of the little anchors for bricks. So I had to order some from Amazon and wait like 2 or 3 days for them to come in. So, but we got it done. I could do it again if I need to. Since I'm
I've
first in it.
I've mounted 2 TVs, but one of them I mounted 2 different times, maybe. because the location of the first location I mounted it in was like too low. And it looked weird where it was. So I had to remount it. I hated it, man. I really don't enjoy it.
Oh, man.
And like, you know, the stress of buying the mount, which is freaking it, you know, like you're like, all right, I want to buy this mount that's strong enough for my TV, but I don't want to spend an arm and a leg to get it. You know what I'm trying to say? But then again, I don't want to have to rebuy a TV, you know, and then getting it finally, it's just too much.
Yeah. Right? Well, this is the 5th TV I mounted. This is the first time I had to mount something in brick, you know, wall.
Oh yeah.
Easy peasy. But brick is a different type of beast, man, because you really gotta be on your P's and Q's and your measurements and stuff to get it on there.
Yeah, you gotta be right on. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, man, we didn't really do much or buy much of anything. I wasn't trying to spend an arm and a leg because we got, you know, Christmas around the corner. Birthday is around the corner for my niece and my son. You know, they have back-to-back birthday. And then a couple weeks later is Christmas. So trying to get them something that they could use, something that they want.
We have we have some kids' birthdays coming up here in the next couple weeks too. And then it's not our kids though, it's like our nephew. So gotta sort that out. And the good thing is the kid just loves Hot Wheels. So like anything Hot Wheels will get him Hot
Very
Wheels.
easy.
Like, bruh, that's easy and that's not expensive. I get you like a ton of Hot Wheels for $20. But
ton of hot food.
Hot food. Hot Wheels. But I get where you come from. So I have this other question. This is going way off topic, totally different. And you're not in this situation yet, but you will be one day. So do you remember the first time you shaved?
I shaved? Yes.
Yeah. Like your face.
I remember the first time I shaved my face and my head. Shaved my face, I think. Oh man, I wasn't even in a grade. I didn't start growing whiskers until I moved up here. So
oh really? So you never really shaved before that?
I never shaved. I think I tried to. No. I tried to, but it's like little kid trying to shave. I didn't take the little guard off of the razor, and I just put shaving cream over my face just to pretend like I'm shaving. You know. But I didn't like start growing like scuffle on the face until I got my job when I moved up. So roughly, I was 24 maybe when I started shaving. Yeah.
Yeah, baby face, man. That's wild.
Baby skin. And it was like two little strands growing right at the corner of my chin. And it was so funky looking, man. It was so funky looking. But now I just have a face full of hair. So
yeah, I do remember that, the 2 strands. Yeah, man. So my son, he's getting like you know, some peach fuzz is getting darker and darker on his upper lip. And like he has a little tiny bit like under his chin, but like nothing to write home about. But he's like, I need to shave, Dad. I need to shave. We're constantly telling him, once you start, you cannot stop. Once you start, it will always grow, and you will have to do this. But there's kids at his school with mustaches. There's kids at his school with like little goatees and beards. Like, you know, he's in 9th grade. So like there's there's kids like that. First time I shaved, I held off. I didn't do it for a long time. I kept getting like this, like, you know, I kept getting like heavy peach fuzz or whatever you want to call it all the way through 10th grade. And in my school growing up, they didn't let you, like in my high school, they didn't let you just walk around with facial hair. They made you shave if it was too thick. So like I remember the first time I shaved, they pulled me and several other guys into into the office and then into the restroom. And one of the coaches like told us, hey, here's some razors, go shave. And like I think there was like some shaving cream. It was like Barbasol, or, you know, one of those like really like basic shaving creams. And there was no aftershave. They didn't even tell us how to shave. They're like, here, you use this to shave off the hair. And so all 5 of us were just sitting there. Yeah. All of us were just like doing like, we didn't know what we were doing. And then a couple of days later, obviously I got like razor bumps. That's the one thing I just want to try to keep him from having razor bumps. So I'm trying to figure out, first of all, should I do the thing like you just said, where you keep, which I'm probably going to do, keep the guard on and just sort of like mimic doing it. So you just learn the motions, right? And then the next thing is, should I do one of those like Norelco razors for him, shavers for him, the electric where he just does this? Because those are like more upkeep, and it's not like a deep shave. Or should I just go ahead and say, hey, let's go straight up razor?
Well, if you go straight up razor, just make sure you go with the grain and not against the grain. But you got to think,
was my problem.
Maybe his hair texture may not come out curly like ours, because I could tell both of my sons, their hair texture is not like mine. Ours, it'll curl like under the skin if you go against the grain. You go with the grain, you'll probably be fine. Against the grain, you're in for a world of trouble.
That's I learned that way too late after I had too many razor bumps, unfortunately.
So I mean, what you could do, get that electric shaver like you were saying, and just kind of test it out on little areas just to see how it works. But
that's the thing, man. And I really truly want to I want to teach him, but I don't want to teach him the wrong way. You know what I'm trying to say? And I don't want to teach. I do want to teach him to make sure that he's not, going to do it the wrong way as much, So I don't know, man. It's just
get one of those little T-liners, from one of them beauty supply stores, and just kind of let it grow, and then kind of shape it up to where it looks nice and not all scraggly looking.
What's a T-liner? What's that?
Yeah, T-liner is what they, a lot of barbers use just to edge up your hair. So they cut really close to the skin, and it shapes it up, and it's real nice. It doesn't go completely, razor deep to get every little bitty hair, but it'll shape it up.
Okay.
I'd say just let him grow his hair out. Just to see where it ends up being. Is it pretty itchy for him now? Is he like scratching his face, or he just notices it?
He doesn't scratch down here. You could just notice it on over his lip. It's just darker over his lip. Like anything else is not so bad. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'll sort it out. I think what I might do is, I don't know. I don't know. I might need to go to YouTube University to see which one is better. But I'm gonna sort it out. Because my dad didn't teach me how to shave. He did that thing where like you put like shaving cream on your face, and you back butter, and you act like you're shaving. That's how I used to watch him shave or whatever with like a razor or whatever. But my first delve, I was first pushed into shaving, purposely. They made me shave, so I didn't get a lesson. I got like a 2-minute, like, you put this on your face, you go this direction, you wash it off with water, and you go about your business. There was nothing, there was no like technique in it. So
Wow.
So
I remember the first time I shaved my head. Never again.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. You talk about razor bumps.
Yeah.
I could not sleep for like a few days.
Yeah. It's all about, like, I started using this stuff called Bump Patrol, which I'm sure you heard of.
I heard of it,
I started using that, and it helped lessen the razor bumps. But yeah, I got them too. First time I did my head, and it was in high school, and like all the football players were like cutting their hair off. Like it was like a thing, like it was the trend. And and they had a couple guys in, on the team who could cut hair. So what I did, though, I was like, I'm going to just do it at the house. So I just like shaved my head at home. I got to school the next day. My friend was like, Jared, what did you do? They could see all the patches. They're like, man, we need to come into the, come on into the locker room. So yeah, they grabbed one of my other friends, and he came in and fixed my hair. But that's the same note. I didn't have any aftershave or anything like that to prevent the bumps. And that was when like people like lick their hand and smack the back of your head, and all that stuff. I like be rubbing the back of my head, and I got the razor bump. So yeah, I'm gonna sort it out. I just wanted to see if you had any perspective, and then I'll let you know how it goes for whenever you have the same situation pop up.
Hey man, I'm gonna let him explore on his own because he already has like a notable mustache. He's 12 and he has a noticeable mustache, and I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Growing up a little too fast now,
Yeah.
Now I see kids at a school when I'm picking them up. I'm like, who the hell is this grown ass man, walking with these kids?
I'm telling you, man,
like
that's what it looked
12th
like.
grader. It's a 12th grader, full on beard, mustache. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. But it is what it is. It's one of those things where these kids are gonna grow up. I'm trying to say they're gonna grow and everything, and there's honestly nothing we could do about it. So we're gonna have to teach them. So this is the thing: we're gonna have to teach them before somebody else teaches them the wrong way to do it. So, and we can learn from our mistakes. That's what it's all about. So,
yep. And they're gonna be growing up, exploring many other different things that we may not be ready for right at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's true.
I always joke with my wife, and I'll be like, get ready to clean them sheets. It's coming, literally.
Don't even talk about that. Don't even talk about that. On that note, I think we need to get up out of here.
All right, people. We Twitter, Instagram, #.
I've been there already with my child. I already know what's happening. So.
Whoa. Okay. Don't want to know. Twitter, Instagram, #Blackout Pod. Join us Sunday mornings to talk about all kind of shenanigans, or if you don't, just check us out on your favorite streaming platform. Email us topics to discuss if you have some. #blackoutpod@gmail.com. Or you could give us a little call, 385-3BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. Hit up the Hooks Rub. Get yourself some holiday hooks. Ooh, holiday hooks.
Yes, indeed. Holiday hooks.
Yeah. Get yourself some holiday hooks and be ready to season up your gifts, season up your life, season up your family meal with some great taste and flavor. A big selection of things to quench your thirst and your hunger. Make your food taste good. Hit up hooksrub.com. So there we have it, 236.
Yes, indeed.
And 235 is out today. I just uploaded it. I was
236. We learning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Another one down the drain. Yeah. All right. And on that note.
Yes, indeed.
So let's kick rocks.
I'm blacking out. Peace.
Okay.
See, wait.